Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jez7780 with another What Grinds My Gears, episode 33. Greenburg says we good. I say we ain't. And we can get into that. But first, I just want to I was going back, I was doing some some research, going back, checking out some articles, and oh man, it was just getting my blood up just after what he said. But we'll get to that. First, what I wanted to lead with is, a couple of the games that I've been checking out because I know there's been some hot stuff going on with Spider-Man's and the Tomb Raider and all that stuff going on. But I've been playing Spider-Man. I'm about 30% done with what it says with progress. I've been doing a lot of the backpacks, doing some of the missions. That game is really, really good. I can't believe how they captured Spider-Man in a sense in a video game like that. Like it really has been a great game. I haven't run into any glitches in my 7 hours playing it. I played all day Friday, played all day Saturday, played it last night, I played today. Haven't run into actually I haven't run into any glitches at all. One where I just punched a guy and he wound up being inside of his truck and I had to kill him inside the truck, to end the mission. That was about it. But I punched him into it, and he went through the truck. That was the only glitch that I had. Otherwise, everything else has been okay. And I tell you that game. So I wound up getting the Xbox, not the Xbox. Jesus, I already want to talk about that. But I got into already. Hey, let me put the chat thing up. I'm always just going crazy here. But what I did was I got into let's mute that shit. What's up, man? I do Spider-Man, Jemiah, don't call me Stardust. What's up? Yeah. So I wound up getting the Spider-Man console, the PlayStation 4 Pro. Best Buy. Here, this is a funny story. Best Buy gave me the screw job. So I pre-ordered back in April. I pre-ordered the Spider-Man Special Edition, the game with the statue. So I had it. It said in progress, all this other stuff. We'll call you up when it's ready to pick up. Well, the night before, I didn't get an email. It still said it was in process. So I'm like, yo, maybe when I go in the next day and when they open up, they'll say we picked up your order and now it's ready to pick up. Yeah, it opens up. I don't get it. So before I go to Best Buy, before they open, I go to Target and I go check out and I see that they got one Spider-Man console. I was like, you know what? That thing looks cool. I looked at some unboxings and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? I have a Slim on my son has a Slim and, let me give him a Spider-Man Pro. He loves Spider-Man. Not only will he get the game, but he'll get a Spider-Man console. He'll go crazy. So I picked it up as a contingency plan. Because I had an eerie feeling that Best Buy was going to give me the screw job. Go into Best Buy. They don't have my special edition. They say can't find it. They say it's in process. And I'm like, well, where is it? I have no clue. They update my thing as saying, well, we canceled it. I'm like, you had this thing ready for me to go since April. And then I come in the day to pick it up and you tell me it's nowhere to be found. Complete screw job. Later on that day, they found it and then they reactivated it. I canceled. I was like, screw you. I canceled the whole fucking thing. I was like, you know what? They could keep the statue. I saw some unboxing the statue. I was like, you know what? I already got the console. I'm just going to use the console. And, I don't need the statue. I think the console is better. But I wasn't anticipating getting the console. But wound up getting it. I traded in my Slim, so I got that over at GameStop, which that was interesting too. I traded the Slim in on GameStop, and they're like, I'm like, yo, $160 is not bad. 155, I think it was 155. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's always a demand for the PlayStations. I was like, oh. And it actually goes along with the tweet I posted last week where when I was looking up the prices, I basically said the Slim. The PlayStation Slim goes for 155 trade-in. The Xbox One S 500 gig goes for 110 or something like that, 100. Oh shit! Let me go check it. Now I gotta check it because I took a picture of them. I think it was it's. I'm gonna give you the crazy part of it. What the hell is that shit? Oh, I just tweeted back then. Yeah, it was. I took screenshots of them. Actually, I have them on my phone because I was looking it up. Yeah, I'll read them off. The stupid ass phone. Here we go. Yeah, so they got. Here they are. So the PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte Slim is $155. The Xbox One S 500 gigabyte system is $110. And this is trading credit. But then the craziest thing is that the PlayStation 4 Pro is $250 trade in, and the Xbox One X, you know, the system that is $500, $100 more than the PlayStation 4 Pro, gets you $230 back. $20 less than what the Pro is. And if that is not a definition of how well the X is doing. Thanks, Elish. How you doing, man? No problem. Yeah, I don't plan on being on here super long, but I just wanted to get to that topic. But I can't believe that the system that's $100 more, $500 system versus a $400 system, trade-in wise, gets you less money, $20 less for the X, which looking at that tells me that there is no demand for the X, at least in their stores. It just and it is actually like it is that thing should at least be giving you back $350. It's $100 or at least $300, at least $50 more than the Pro, but it's done. It's a loss, which I wouldn't recommend trading it in at that price at all. But it just shows supply and demand. And I think Microsoft has done a piss poor job in showing the power of that X. And they have done nothing to show the power of the X. And they're waiting for third party to come along. And third party's not doing shit. All they're doing is little some res updates. I'm going to get into that shit too. Actually, I'm going to get into that with the Tomb Raider. Oh, but first I want to say the thing with the Spider-Man. Playing Spider-Man and seeing the costumes that they got and the little Easter eggs from the Avengers, from the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe. That universe right now, the Marvel movies are like they are huge in just pop culture and just I think it was over 1 billion. I read something like $1 billion of just like it is the biggest entertainment entity of these Marvel movies with the Avengers, the Avengers, the Black Panther, the Ant-Man and Wasp. Like these are huge movies. And now with Miss Marvel coming out, Captain Marvel, these are huge. And this is one of the first times that Sony was able to kind of use their movie prowess and their studio weight and get an IP on their gaming system. And I think as I'm playing this thing, I'm like, this is not the end of Spider-Man. Like, this is huge for them. They could, if Disney trusts them, since they did this, Disney was only allowing, what's up, Savage? How you doing, man? Disney allows them to build on their studios. Disney's picking. Remember, Disney used to make their own stuff with Disney Interactive. Now Disney is using studios and partnerships to make their games with their IP. And Kingdom Hearts is another one, which Sony is pushing that one as marketing. But Disney is now seems to be kind of in bed with definitely with allowing Sony to do this Marvel thing and this deal that they had. What's up, Callie? How you doing? And the fact that now they're doing the Venom movie coming out. If they do a Venom video game, like the thing is having those iconic IPs not only exclusively to your platform. Spider-Man's taken the world by storm. My son's friends were over this weekend and they were playing Spider-Man like crazy. And his mom came over and they were like, "Oh, it's Spider-Man. I see that everywhere." And you only could play it over there. Like, I gotta get a PlayStation. My son's like loves Spider-Man. And it is really amazing that they've done that. Now, yes, people say like, "Oh, well, Spider-Man should be for everybody. It shouldn't be an exclusive, all this other stuff. But it's business. And it's smart business. And I don't think I can't, get upset at Microsoft for not getting something like that, because I don't think Microsoft really has the feet to try to get something like that, like to try to get an IP from like Marvel, unless they really pay for it. I don't know. But Sony was able to do their wheeling and dealing negotiation stuff and get Spider-Man and work with and prove that they could make an amazing Spider-Man game. And the thing is that from what I'm playing, it is not a cash grab. It is not a movie-based game. It is not like, let's just throw Spider-Man in this world. Like, it is really particular. Like, it slowly tells a building story. It is not that you're just Spider-Man, go fight all the bad guys, here comes the boss. Like, it builds. Like, it builds on the character development. Like, there's a story there. Like, there's time that's taken with this IP. You could see that the IP was respected when you're playing this game. And you're right, Callie. It is fair game. And Sony, and I said that before, Sony was the first time they really had their movie studio, kind of their knowledge of movie studios and their kind of relationships there tie into and provide us with entertainment in a game. Which, and the fact that they're doing Venom, I hope they do Venom DLC, or if they do a Venom game, I go, oh my God, that would be awesome. But I'm hoping one of those DLCs might have Venom show up. I don't know. I think it'll be perfect marketing for the movie, which that movie looks sick too. But who knows what Disney will let them do with else in the Spider-Man universe. The Spider-Man universe is huge, and if they got Insomniac to make these games, you might get Spider-Man 2, you might get Venom, you might get something else from that universe. Like, I don't know. Like, there could be. It's just a huge opportunity, but the fact that they use their prowess to lock it down, it is great business. Like, it's amazing, and it makes owners and people that play on that platform go, wow, they really want us to stay here. They really want us to buy that platform. And I'll tell you, going into Best Buy, you cannot find a guy bought 2 Spider-Man Pros right in front of me. They had one left, and that sold in the afternoon. I bought the last one at Target. Then there was another one down the street. I looked there. They were gone. By Friday afternoon, they were gone. Whatever ones that were not pre-ordered from the 4 stores in my area that I went around to. Like, and there was a hype. There was craziness for it. And that's what you do. And the fact that they have that game of that caliber and they had God of War this year, like, I cannot believe right now they got, like, typically, being a Premier and Xbox player and stuff like that, or just being a gamer for so long, like playing all these type of games, you really never had that kind of excitement twice in a year. Like, it was always like, okay, well, here comes the big Call of Duty, Call of Duty time, or here comes like Halo, then here comes the Gears of War, or here comes like the big God of War, the big Metal Gear. Like, there was always like that one big game. And the fact that Sony have these 2 games exclusive to their platform, and they were the biggest hype games of the year, is friggin' unheard of. Like, I've never seen that before, that they had that. Like, it's like Microsoft releasing Gears of War in the springtime, the Gears of War 5, and then Halo 6 in the fall, when they were at their highest. Because right now I'm kind of confused with where they are. But those, like, 2 of their biggest games. And that Spider-Man supersedes all that, because it's Spider-Man. That transcends gaming. That goes into comic books, entertainment, movies, toys, everything. So Spider-Man that is bigger beyond games. But that's what I just think that I'm excited for where Spider-Man's are going to go. I'm glad the game did well, because that means that we're going to see more of that. And Sony, is going to provide that to those gamers. And, I don't know, Microsoft, I don't know how they could respond to something like that unless they try to really buy some sort of IP. But I don't know who they will have make it. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. And, the quality that has been coming out of them, I don't know, the polish respect. And like I said, I always feel that Sony's games, they care more about gaming as an art form and telling a story, almost like a movie, where Microsoft looks at it more of a business and trying to, and they're both businesses, but I just feel like Microsoft kind of lets their cards show too much in that it's a business and it's financial and it's trying to get you to pay more money. I think Microsoft should be a little more subtle with that when they release their games. Calling it games as a fucking service is obvious as hell. Like, it's like, you know. And then I think Sony uses these games as a medium to tell a story or to entertain, similar to like a movie. And that's kind of been the dichotomy. I feel like how Sony uses their studios and Microsoft kind of uses their work. And I think, yes, Last Remnant, oh my God, that game, that just came out of blue, like another exclusive. Like, that's the thing. Like, that Tokyo Game Show, that PlayStation lineup thing, I didn't listen and follow it, but there's 3 games that came out. The one that looks like the Yakuza game that comes out in February 2nd. It comes out February. That game looks crazy as hell. It looks like a crazy Yakuza, and it has like Hitman kind of sneaking around and following people. That from Sega, that's an exclusive coming out in February. Then they got that other crazy game where the guy's fighting the dragon. And then they got this, and then they just the Last Remnant. No, Last Remnant's not backwards compatible. I think people are asking for it now, but it's Project Judge. That's what it was. Yeah. And Project Judge, Project Awakening. Yeah, 2 of those games, like in some sort of freaking lineup. Like, we just got exclusives. Plus, Square Enix already announced the exclusive that they got. What was it? It was over at E3, where it was another kind of looked like a Yakuza style game, but it looked like a guy was beating up some guy, and it was Listen or something, like a Silence or something. The guy was like blind, or he used his sound. I think it was called Silence or something. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm just like, these are the games. Like, every time I see those games, like while seeing that, I just had that guy sitting on the plane going back to Japan. I'm like, Phil, got to get back to Japan. Quiet man. Yes, Jemiah, thank you. And yeah, so like, I'm just like, that guy has to live in Japan, man, if he wants any of these games. But these are the games. And people will say, like, oh, well, why you want to excited? The thing is that, hey, whenever I complain about Microsoft stuff, people are like, options. All these games. Like, I got Dragon Quest. I still haven't played it. I put it in the system, and then I got Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, Dragon Quest. I didn't even start it yet. But I'm going to start it. And just like, there's so many games. And as a consumer and as a gamer, the PlayStation games cannot be denied. I felt like I was getting strangled for all the years of just waiting for third party, waiting for the holiday, which we're going to get into. Just waiting. And all these games just come out, and the options and the variations of games, the world that Phil paints about this world of options and all giving variety to a lineup. It's happening right now. And not being a fanboy, it's happening right now. Like, if you want anything you want, from VR to AAA to indies to mobile, like, you got it. It's all there. Japan, European, all the games from all over the world, it's on one platform. It's there. So sitting there, googly-eyed, looking up at Phil going, tell me more about this future. It's fucking right now. You don't have to wait. It's happening right now. And I don't think anything they do could kind of match up to that. He'll have to live in friggin' Japan to try to get all these games. And these are not coming from foo-foo developers. These are coming from Sega. Sega, your third-party publisher, don't put it on games. Square Enix, remastering The Last Remnant. Why? Where's Xbox? They don't give a shit. And if Microsoft continues along the line of really not building their install base, really not catering to the gamer, trying to get more consoles out there, trying to get more developers, everybody's going to say, who gives a shit? And I heard that the Dragon Quest looks amazing. Like, I haven't played it yet, but from the screenshots I've seen, I got to get into it. But that's another game. Like, Square Enix. Fuck you, Microsoft. You know? We're not going to put Dragon Quest over there. I think I found out. Sega visited Microsoft earlier this year to tell them to go fuck themselves, and then went back to Japan and made all Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2. I remember people saying, Sega's here. Sega was there to tell them to go fuck themselves, and they left. They didn't do shit. They mean nothing. You don't have the install base. That's exactly what they did. But it's just like, it's all here now. This world of options and all this other fucking foo-foo bullshit and kumbaya that comes out of these executives' mouths over at Microsoft, this world, it's here. Nintendo brings games from the West here. Sony brings it. Microsoft sits there and goes, we good. We good. And that's what I'm going to get into. He goes, we good. We're good. Microsoft fans, those Xbox players, they're good. They don't need Crackdown. They're good. Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, and the other thing too. And this kind of goes into it. I played the Call of Duty Blackout mode. And all I got to say is, holy shit, it is awesome. Go watch my previous stream. I'm so glad I had some great highlights in that. When I streamed it last night, I was doing solo on Call of Duty Blackout. Yo, after that shit show of Battlefield, that I don't know who made that. The CD team of Battlefield 5 with that animation of reaching out with the hand, hold L2 to bleed out. I couldn't do it fast enough. I wish there was a perk to bleed out faster, because every time I died in Battlefield 5, I had to stare at that fucking screen and watch people just run over me. To play Call of Duty, and this is my point, Call of Duty, now Battlefield might have a good mode. You know, maybe their Battlefield mode is good, but they got to fix those mechanics. That bleed out shit got to go. The jank had to go. The water effects are garbage. But Blackout, it is smooth and it works. And before I get into the Greenburg shit, because that's going to be my rant, Blackout works. And you want to know why it works? Because Call of Duty has the equipment and the gear and the gameplay that transcends into that. But not only that, the thing that I was nervous about was the vehicles, because Call of Duty really never did multiplayer vehicles. They really, like, you never had that kind of control. You had it, and it almost was like when they had it in all the Call of Duties, it was almost like you were just in, you know, it was just like a shell. Like you really were controlling it like a person, but it would never felt like a vehicle. Well, the vehicles, the ground vehicles, control like, they control like a warthog in Halo. So you push up for gas on the left stick, and then the right stick kind of turns you. So you could do like those spin outs. Like it's not as loose as Halo. It's a little tighter, but it fits right with Halo. Like it controls like Halo. There's no R1 and R2 or R2 for gas. You just push up and go. And the helicopter flies great. And the effect that you add a helicopter to single player soul games, like I took the helicopter and I was just dropping down, looting, getting on a helicopter and flying up in the air. But what's cool about it is that they balance it, that the helicopter can't go super high. It kind of stays kind of low. And there's drop boxes or loot that basically rocket launchers. They could shoot people out of the sky, which I did. And it's so much fun. And that's in solo mode. I could imagine when you're doing quads and you got people in helicopters shooting down at you, and you're on the back of a pickup truck and you're shooting at them. Like, it happened in the game. It wasn't no cutscene. It wasn't no like highlight reel where how they show those PUBG things where all this excitement's going on. And you're like, oh my God, PUBG looks explosive. And then you watch it and it's trucking along at 22 frames a second. And the guy's just walking around in some bullshit like cheddar cheese buildings. And then they show some like highlight reel of all these explosions. If all that shit was going on the screen, I think the thing will run at 2 frames a second. It'll be fucking slow-mo. But Call of Duty, it keeps the smooth gameplay, the gunplay. It's tight. And they got the equipment, like the attachments, they use perks as pickups, like as little briefcases. You put them on, and then you actually can activate them. They got a quick equip menu. You don't go into a menu screen popping up while people are trying to shoot at you. You could do quick equip, and you could equip stuff directly, or you could go in and maintenance your stuff, but you don't get taken out of the game. And then the way they have the loot, it's not like when the guy blows up and all his loot goes all over the place. They have a little bag, and you could almost like a slide menu, and you could just slide and pick what you want. And they got all different types of guns. They got all different attachments. They got fast reload. They got the perks lined up where you could do different perks. And as you saw in my stream last night, they got fucking zombies. Finally, somebody took my fucking idea. Put some NPCs in that world. They got zombies. They had a care package drop in a cemetery. First off, it was Asylum. And Asylum was ripped right out of the zombies mode, which that is another amazing thing. It has the different maps from all the different battle Black Ops. So these are not just kind of like empty shell homes where they just got the same chair, the same thing. These are actually from the maps. So like those little areas are made for shootouts because they were basically multiplayer maps. So when it converges on, on like a firing range, like firing range was a map. It's just so cool. Like I was amazed. It sounded cool, and playing it was so cool. But when you land in an Asylum, I saw that there was a drop. So I run over to the drop. It is in the cemetery, and it has a little sound, like the sound of the zombies, like when a wave comes in. And all of a sudden, zombies come out of the ground. I thought it was the guys, and they're coming at me. I'm like, holy shit, there's zombies in here. And when I shot them, they dropped the zombie gun, the Heisenberger, whatever the hell it was. But man, it was a fucking crazy machine gun. And then all the helicopters, people kept coming in with helicopters trying to get that the air supply drop, and the zombies were coming at us. I just hid and let them go into the thing. And to try to go get it. And zombies are fighting them. And I just kept picking them off from outside of the cemetery. But man, there's zombies sprinkled around the map. Like it is crazy. Like on the sections of the map that pull from zombies, there's the diner, there's the asylum. The zombies are there. And it's so awesome. It adds such a dynamic, and they drop loot. So they're not just there just to mess with you. They drop loot. And it is really amazing on how those they add those NPCs to it. And then I'll shoot down helicopters with that gun. But I gotta tell you, watch the stream. It really is it really is pretty cool. And I'm really, really impressed with how smooth it runs and how well it plays. And it's fun as hell. And I did some randoms. I went in with a quad with randoms and stuff. I shot some guy with a rocket launcher right in the face. Like, it was hilarious. And then I jumped on the back of a truck with the rocket launcher, and the vehicles don't take too much damage. They blow up real quick, so it's not like they could dominate. Doesn't turn into like the end of H1Z1 where everybody's just riding around in cars trying to doing all that stuff. It actually is pretty intense. And you see the battle armor on the guys, and when you shoot off the battle armor, you see it come off, so you could get a visual of like their health, which I think that's something that Fortnite really never had. They had that blue ball, which you didn't even know how much you're killing the guy working on him. But I recommend it. I know this week it's Blackout for the PlayStation. Next week is going to be for that. But and it kind of sucks. There's no campaign in Call of Duty, but I think the Blackout, the multiplayer, and the zombie campaigns, I'm pumped for it for first a long time in Call of Duty. Like, that Blackout mode is something I always wanted, a kind of a Battlefield-esque Call of Duty. I always thought the corridor shooting thing was getting kind of old. They needed some destructibility, but I wanted some big maps. And this is a huge map in Call of Duty and with vehicles. This is kind of they kind of Battlefield-ized it. And we'll see what Battlefield does with their mode. But the mechanics in Battlefield are janky. They're not that good. And that's where that's not going to translate very well in an open in that. Well, we'll see what their quirks are. But my biggest concern with Battlefields mode is that it's World War II, and the loot and the trying to get stuff is not going to be that compelling. Like, there's not a lot of scopes. There's not a lot of varying guns. There's not cool guns. Like, you had like the zombie gun. I had like rocket launchers and heat-seeking missiles and to counter the vehicles. You know, they're going to have like kind of World War II weapons, which, you know, I think that the perk system, the perks, maybe the kill streaks. I don't know if kill streaks are in those supply drops. I haven't gotten one yet, but I just think the mechanisms of Call of Duty, the scopes, the attachments, all the things to the guns, it kind of makes you could actually keep the same gun and find attachments. Like, I found the scope, and then I wanted to get a better scope for my gun, and then I wanted the fast reload, or I wanted the stock. So basically, you kind of build your gun as you're playing, which you're not just dumping your gun and say, I need a new gun. Like, you actually take your gun and you're modding it as you're playing, as you're finding more drops, which I don't think that translates well in called in Battlefield, because, you know, your World War II weapons, they didn't have you know, they had stocks and stuff, but they didn't have like, you know, fast reload. Like, it's kind of gamey, you know, it's and you know, Battlefield, you know, being Battlefield, not kind of semi-futuristic and or modern, is not going to have all those attachments. And I think the Call of Duty kind of the gear. Oh, and also you got the barricade, like, so all the kind of the perks that you get, like the guys, like, you could find them as drops. Like, you got the barricade, you could do the tripwire, you could do the recon drone, like the car drone, which adds compelling. Like, I was in the bunker at the end when I won, and a recon drone just came through, and I was like just hiding. I was like, oh shit, he got a drone, and his car RC drone was coming in, and I was like, oh shit, you know, he's gonna spot me, and we're down to the last 4. And he sent in his drone. Like, that is really cool. Like, it's so cool. Oh man, I can't wait to play it. That's why I'm not going to do that long, but I'm pretty hyped for it. I'm excited for it, and definitely check it out. And I'm going to give you my tip of the day to my grinders out there. You don't want to do a preload and spend the $50, $60. Go to GameStop. Here's $5. Give me my demo. Go play your thing. And then you ask for your $5 back when you're done. Or you use that $5 and get something else. Play with the house's money. Or they're doing some free pre-orders. That's what I did. Like, I traded in, or I bought something, and the guy's like, oh, you get 2 pre-order free. I'm like, okay, well, everybody just give me free betas. Let's go. Fallout and Call of Duty. But I'm probably going to buy it digitally, and I'll just get my money back. But that's a good way of getting that. Oh, man. Cuphead, I'll answer this question before I move on to the next one. Cuphead DLC footage. I don't know. Maybe they'll. Microsoft has missed a lot of opportunities. And if you heard me in previous shows, you hear why I created this whole channel and why I rant. They missed a lot of opportunities here with the announcements. Like, they could have shown that stuff already. Right now, we're dried up. Right now, if they're going to show anything, they're going to have to show it at the Video Game Awards. That's it. So if there's a little trail of the Video Game Awards for Cuphead DLC, maybe they'll do it. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man? You know, if they do it, but otherwise, that's about it. And I don't know. They already showed it, which is supposed to be the girl Cuphead, but I just don't know. They'll have to show it. I don't know what they can show, and that gets me into missed opportunities. We're gonna go right into Crackdown 3. Record, rant, start. So, a good buddy, Aaron Greenburg says, we don't need Crackdown. We are good this holiday. There's so many games coming out. We're good. And that's what he says. And we don't need Crackdown. Meanwhile, now mind you, I know he is a PR face. He's not going to say, we suck, we've disappointed our fans, or we're not listening to them. He's not going to say that. But he don't have to speak bullshit and speak stupidly to all of us. If we didn't see Crackdown at E3, we didn't see Crackdown at Gamescom, we didn't see that at any opportunity, any Inside Xbox, nothing. All the big events are gone. Everything before June was wait till E3. Okay? They come out, they say, we hear you, we're sorry, we bought some people, go back home. And seal clerks, right? And I was just mentioning earlier about how the exclusives keep coming. Well, everybody's sitting here waiting now. Wait. Sega's dropping exclusive Fist of the North Star demo on PlayStation. They just announced the game, the last Remnant remaster. Like, games are just coming, exclusives to PlayStation. And Microsoft's sitting there with one exclusive, Forza, and telling us we're good. Crackdown needs to avoid the noise, avoid the craziness. You never showed Crackdown. And I'm going to go into exactly what he said. So he goes here. Forza Horizon 4, out early October 2nd and before the blast radius. All right? Then we didn't need Crackdown or any of our titles in this holiday window. We're planning to launch that in February. And then after that, we'll launch Ori and Will of the Wisps. We like to have a steady cadence of content throughout the year. Why is that? I'll give chat one question. Why is that? Why do they want the steady content? Let's see. Who's going to say the answer first? We want to stream steady content throughout the year. Why? They used to never do that before. They used to blow their load at the end of the season. Greatest lineup ever. Why do they want this steady content? Why are they spreading out these games? Let's go. Who's going to answer first? Seal clerks, you win. Game Pass. Game fucking pass. That is it. That is Microsoft's MO. Okay? Everything evolves around Game Pass. The purchases of these studios, them driving content, it is for Game Pass. Not for, and maybe indirectly for the gamer, but it's for Game Pass. So if you're not a Game Pass subscriber, they may not be talking to you. But there is more than enough, he says, content this holiday. That's why we're working with so many third-party partners to showcase their games and help drive our platform during that window. I can't think of a holiday that had more AAA games in such a tight time period. Oh my God, how charming. Make me want to cry. Tear. This is a glorious time. Tear. Really? You can't think of a time where there was so many games in such a holiday lineup. Holy shit, my God. I can't imagine. Could you imagine when? I never heard of a time when we had Call of Duty, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, all the sports games. I can't imagine a time when we had all those games. Oh my, and Hitman. Oh my God. And maybe he's talking about just one game. Red Dead Redemption. But can you imagine of a time? Well, I can. I could go back, Greenburg. I could go back. I'm going to go back when the shit stank, right? When you open your mouth about something else. Maybe I can't think of a holiday. Well, let me just go back just 3 years ago. The quote, greatest games lineup in Xbox history. Oh my God. Did Call of Duty take that year off? The 2015 was Call of Duty? Did Call of Duty take that year off? Did EA take that year off? Star Wars? Did everybody was off that year? No, all those fucking games came out, and Microsoft launched Forza Motorsport 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5 Guardians, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. My goodness. I can't think of a time when there were so many games in such a short amount of time this holiday. So we don't need Crackdown. We don't need it. There are too many games out. Call of Duty, Battlefield. We've heard Call of Duty, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, Hitman, Forza. Forza's out every fucking year. Forza. So what? Red Dead Redemption. And that year too. Guess what? Right, that Tomb Raider game. Oh yeah, Fallout came out that year too. We got Fallout 76 this year. So Microsoft didn't go, wait a second, we need to spread out Halo, Gears of War Ultimate, Forza. But wait a second, I go now to 2016. Forza Horizon 3. Oh man, that's all we did for the holiday, right? Forza Horizon 3. We didn't want to crowd the holiday up. No, but we did Forza Horizon 3, Gears of War 4, Dead Rising 4. Did I miss one? Hell, we did Rare Replay and Sunset Overdrive. Like, I just remember Microsoft releasing like 4 and 5 games, like one a month starting in September, and Forza, Fable, shit from back in the day when they were doing Forzas and Fables and FIFAs. Call of Duty never took a year off. Battlefield was every other year. And then Titanfall. Hell, Titanfall and Battlefield came out together. Battlefield 1, Titanfall, and Call of Duty. Like, you can't think of a time when there was so a holiday that had more AAA games in such a tight time period. The only difference this year is their Red Dead Redemption. One game. All the other ones have routinely come out when Microsoft released games. So he's talking out his ass. All right? So that's the aspect we know. The greatest lineup ever. All this other stuff. And yeah, Forza Horizon 3. I'm going to tell you. So when Forza Horizon 3 came out, we got Forza Horizon 3, XCOM 2, Mafia 3, Gears of War 4 in October, WWE, because that comes out all the time, Skylanders comes out all the time, Batman Return to Arkham, Battlefield 1 on October 21st, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the 25th, Elder Scrolls Skyrim for the 1000th time on a special edition on the 28th, Titanfall 2 on the 28th, I'm not going to read Super Dungeon Brothers. Infinite Warfare on November 4th. Dishonored 2 on November 11th. Watch Dogs 2 on November 15th. Final Fantasy 15 on November 29th. Steep, if you want to do snowboarding, on December 2nd. Oh, and the Microsoft exclusive Dead Rising 4 on December 6th. Well, there is your holiday lineup of 2016. Let's go back to what he said. I can't think of another holiday that had more AAA games in such a tight time period. And using this as an excuse to why we don't need Crackdown. What? And Crackdown is coming out in February 22nd? Yeah, nice time for it to shine, right? "2019 game releases in February." Here we go. I can't think of a time. Let's see. We got in February. I'm not even going to do Ace Combat and Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts in January. No. We're going to talk February, right? I can't think of AAA games. Cracked. What did he say? He said some fucking horse shit. Where did he say it? What did he say? Where's his horse shit? Yeah. AAA games. It needs its space, right? So let's release it on February 22nd. On February 22nd, on the same day, Anthem, Days Gone, Metro Exodus, and Crackdown 3. All right, so one's an exclusive of PlayStation. You got Metro, which you're marketing, and Anthem, which you're marketing. Crackdown 3. So you're marketing those other 2 games, and you got Crackdown 3 there. All right? I would say and this is where I saw people go back, right? They went back and they're like, well, Sony said they'll line up as boss, and that was a good thing. Well, let me give you a little bit of an education here. Microsoft is not buying up third parties, okay? They partnered a little bit with Tomb Raider to show the little Xbox logo. They partnered with Battlefield to show the little Xbox logo. And that's it. All right? I could see if Microsoft signed big deals with Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption, and they were big promoting those third-party games for the holiday and didn't want to cross-promote their own games with the third-party marketing, which sounds like exactly what's going to happen in February. So I don't know how that's going to happen, which tells me that Crackdown's not coming out in February. Okay? But they'll cross-marketing. Sony used third party and content and exclusive betas, like we're playing right now with Blackout mode, to drive the platform in the holiday and gave content exclusively. They're doing it with Red Dead. I don't know what the hell it is, a shirt, a hat. It's something, though. It's not going to get somebody to like throw their Xbox out a window, but it's little incentives and little things calling exclusive content only on the PlayStation. They just have exclusive content right now in Fortnite. Go pick it up for free. I think your hands glow the colors of the PlayStation as you come down from the helicopter, from the bus. But those little things add up. Microsoft was the king of that last generation. Yeah, you know what, Seal Clerks, you're right. The fucking controllers, they don't have problems going, well, we just released the blue controller. Now we'll release a midnight white controller. Oh man, it's crowded. We need time to shine. Too much time. Too much confusion with all these controllers. They release controllers every fucking day. It is disgusting. It is ridiculous. It is a joke now. It is a meme. Like, it was a joke that they did it. Now they just seem to, they're just doing it, but I don't know. It's hilarious. I don't know, they're trolling everybody. Yeah, the grease-proof one. The PUBG with the rubbers on it. They got rubbers on the triggers because they've been fucking you all year, and they could use some rubbers. I'm glad that they put the rubbers on the PUBG controller for the fuck shit that's been all the year. At least they have the courtesy to put the rubbers on the PUBG controller. Still talking PUBG. Still talking Sea of Thieves content. Still talking State of Decay Horde mode. It doesn't work. If they were fucking trash games to begin with, you could add more shit. It's still gonna be shit. You're not revamping the game, fixing it, all that other stuff, doing like a Destiny kind of bullshit coat and fixing it, a Destiny 2. You're taking the same piece of shit base games and you're throwing more shit at it, that the shit that should have been there in the beginning. Just to try to keep it in the... He fucking brought up in that conversation Sea of Thieves. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Stop talking about that fucking game. Stop. It is not on any NPD after 25 sold for the month. You got people just having it on Game Pass because you're giving it with Game Pass. And stop adding users over 7-8 months going, well, 5 million people turned it on. That's a fucking bullshit stat. That's like we killed 1,000 million zombie heads have been shot off. Fucking cares. Stop trying to resell me recycled bullshit. If you're going to redo it, do it right. Do a remaster. Do a coat of paint. Bring a game from the 360 generation and redo it. Take a game from the original Xbox system and remaster it. Last Remnant, Shadow of the Colossus. Make it worth the fucking damn. Don't just fucking put the game in a system. Oh, it does a little resolution. Yay. And think that I'm going to go put fucking 10 hours into a game that I played already. Stop deal in recycled bullshit. Stop recycling news. Stop recycling fucking games. Just say we got nothing and just shut the fuck up and build your games, because that's where you are. You're like a fucking construction worker who's staring at a plot of land talking about what you're going to build and trying to sell people. I'm going to build this biggest building here. It's going to be amazing. Big, amazing. Meanwhile, the building right next to you is huge, shining, and people could walk in it right now. The big Sony buildings right next to it, people could walk in. The Nintendo buildings right there, you could walk right in. Microsoft got this plot of land, and you got fucking Greenburg and friends standing at the plot of land going, we got some shit. Yo, when we knocked down this land and we picked up some fucking trash. Do you want to buy some trash? I'm telling you, we're going to build this building here on this plot of land. And they're wondering why everybody's going into the other big, shiny buildings right next to it. Shut the fuck up and build your shit. You got nothing now. You got nothing. We're not good. We all should be just fucking quiet because you got nothing. You got nothing. All right? You're trying to live off nostalgia. That's what you're trying to do. Remember Rumble Roses? You could play that today on Xbox. Rumble fucking Roses. If that's not a slap to women everywhere, in this time and age, Rumble Roses. Fucking Dead or Alive learned their lesson for Dead or Alive 6. Rumble Roses is backwards compatible today. Major Nelson. Please. Please. Rumble fucking Roses. That's the library you're going to bring with you, everybody. That's what they want you to do. Rumble Roses. Go bring that library with you. Remember those guys sitting there, Rumble Roses. Probably were fucking 12 years old and like the titties bouncing that you bought that game, and now you're a fucking grown-ass man. You're going to go play Rumble Roses. Nostalgia. Make some fucking new games. You got the fucking balls to sell a $500 piece of hardware on the shelf without the fucking software. And third party's not jumping on board. Third party's not jumping on board. Go look at the fucking latest thing that came out, Tomb Raider. Digital Foundry's Tomb Raider. It runs at a little higher resolution. It runs at some fucking 1999p. And the PlayStation runs it at fucking 1572p. But then after they tell you the resolution difference, then they go, looking at the games, they look the same. Same shadows, same 4K textures, same water effects, same trees, same foliage, same lighting. Same textures on Lara, same hair physics. Everything's the same. It looks the same. It just looks a little higher resolution on the $100 more console. Hint, $100 more console. They look the same. And the worst version is our good old friend, the S. The $300 thing that should be fucking $200 because it's underpowered. If you want to pay for power, the PlayStation should be $300. The S should be $250 at least. The PlayStation's sitting there with an amazing Slim that plays games just 1080p and great, and plays them boosted up at just enough higher resolution and better textures for $100 more. The ideal. Microsoft's blowing their load at $500. Can't prove if it's worth the damn. And they're fucking slap you in the ass with the S, the underperforming, overpriced console. They got an overpriced console that's more powerful, but it's not being demonstrated. And they got the S, which is overpriced and the worst performing. And you got PlayStation sitting right in the middle in the ideal market. Just enough to give you some 4K goodness, just enough to give you a satisfying 1080p experience. And that's fucking economics 101. And that's why the Xbox, that's why we go back to what I started earlier on about supply and demand and why they're giving you $230 for a $500 fucking console at GameStop. And for a $400 console that's been on sale for $350, they're giving you $250 back. Almost $30, $20 more than the console that costs $100 more. But Greenburg says we're good. He's like, we don't need Crackdown. You know what? I don't think we're ever going to need fucking Crackdown. Because when that game comes out, it is going to be another Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, slap in the face, mediocre bullshit. They're hiding it. We know it. And they're just going to try to throw it out there, toss it in that fucking dumpster of Game Pass like they do with everything else, say we're working on it, and just let it come out and just be part of the subscription. And there you go. The quality of Game Pass, it's a dumping ground. And Microsoft's going to use a dumping ground. They don't care the quality of content. It's going to be the quantity and the consistency of content going to Game Pass. Consistency. Keep people subscribed. Because if you recall, before January 2018, Game Pass was nothing. And I'm going to say this too, to everybody out there who's supposedly Xbox fans and been around for Xbox. All right, I've been at Xbox for forever, okay? Game Pass was the one service I never signed up for. Because when they launched Game Pass, it was nothing in it. I was in the beta. I counted in May or March last year, March 1st of last year. And as soon as I had my free trial and I had to pay, I canceled it because I had everything in there. I had all the Halos. I had all those games. I had those 360 games backwards compatible. I played them already. There was nothing compelling in there to keep me subscribed. It was a bunch of just old games. So if you are this Xbox gamer, I can't see if you were this dedicated console, you excited for Game Pass. Because I don't understand how you say, oh, it's the best value in gaming. It's the best value in gaming if you owned the PlayStation 3 last generation. It's the best value of gaming if you were a PlayStation 2 owner and a 3. But if you were a 360 owner who bought everything, and then you were an Xbox One owner who bought everything, Game Pass is not valuable to you. Because the only value Game Pass has is the new content. And let's count the new content. Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, and Forza. Oh, and what is that fucking game? The GameWorks game that just came out. They released a couple of new games. Onrush, you could count them on your finger. Onrush, Vermintide, that's 5. And then they got some indie games in there. But I'm talking about games costing more than $30. Now, 5 games maybe. I could look at my Game Pass lineup. Oh, a Master Chief Collection. Yeah, because if you didn't get it bundled when they were bundling it with the Halo 5 edition 3 years ago, and didn't buy it when you got Halo. Who doesn't own the Master Chief Collection? You either had it and you returned it because it was broken, or you basically just had no. They're Humble Bundle games. I'm going to show you. You're right. Where's the fucking Xbox app? They had to give me a Game Pass app, right? Because they want to stream it. Here, Xbox Game Pass games. Because I just see this people like, it's the best value in gaming. It's the best value gaming. Your market may vary. Onrush, Mr. Chief, Snake Pit, I'm not fucking Shadow Warrior. Let's see what we got. A Doom. If you didn't own it, Rise. If you didn't buy it with launch. Talk about an Xbox owner, like an Xbox owner that had the system. Fallout 4, State of Decay 2, Halo Guardians, Rise of the Tomb Raider, The Division, Gears of War 4, Dirt 4, Elder Scrolls Unlimited, which is like $10. Payday 2, City Skylines, I guess that you could add number 6 maybe. Disneyland Adventures, Super Lucky's Tales. Oh, Super Lucky's Tales, we got to add that. Quantum Break, War, Vermintide. And the most popular games, I'm clicking on this thing right now. You want to know the most popular games that are on it? Rocket League, Halo, Master Chief Collection, Sea of Thieves, Human Fall Flat, Fallout 4, Quantum Break, State of Decay 2, Doom, Halo 5 Guardians. And I think the fact that Sea of Thieves is number 3 on this list, I don't think there's a lot of people subscribing to Game Pass. They're decent games. But the fact is that if you're looking for Game Pass to be this thing that's going to bring you new experiences and new games, Microsoft has to lead with that, and they have to drive the content, but they got to put quality in there. See you, Jemiah. Thanks for coming out, man. But they got to put the content in there, and they need to drive the quality. That's the thing. But Game Pass for me was like, I'm not saying it's, and like I said, I'm explaining for myself. If I look at Game Pass as a way to obtain new content, Game Pass is not for me. If you want those games that you might have missed out early on the generation and you own the PlayStation, you're coming over to Xbox, which I don't know why you would leap now, but if you did, because maybe you're bored of PlayStation, I don't know. It's good because you get to sample, you get to play everything that released in the system. But if you've been an Xbox owner for the 360 and from the Xbox day one and you bought all these games, you either play them and return them, play them and trade them in, like I have, and it just doesn't hold a value to it. That's why when I evaluate Game Pass, I evaluate it more for, it was interesting to me when they said they're putting their games in it. Like Forza coming into it and stuff like that. But my fear was, I didn't want the games to be made for Game Pass. You know, like if you just look at, say if Sony did a Game Pass, right? And I'm not talking about PlayStation Now and stuff like that, but say Sony did exactly what Microsoft was doing. They gave you some old PlayStation 3 games. They gave you some games. Think about it if Sony said, hey, we're putting Horizon Zero Dawn in there. We're putting God of War. We're putting Last of Us Remastered. We're going to put Uncharted, Lost Legacy. We're going to put, a Days Gone. A Days Gone, Spider-Man. Like, yo, those games are not made for a service. Spider-Man's not made for a service. Yes, it's the traditional DLC. Here comes the DLC, with the system and all, with the game and all that other stuff. You're going to buy the DLC. And God of War had no DLC, which is pretty. I'm amazed. Like, God of War didn't have any DLC, which I'm hoping Sony. I hope they announced some DLC for it, like another Realm or something like that. Maybe that's one of the PSX announcements. I don't know. It would be nice because that would be huge, considering how much that game sold. Just to do some like expansion to God of War, which that's a games as a service I'll buy. I'm like, yeah. You give me some amazing new content, I'll buy it, But the thing is that those games are not built for a service. They're built for an art. They're built to tell a story. They're built for amazing gameplay and playing games. When you look at the shenanigans of Sea of Thieves and look how all the content was missing, and they're not doing a roadmap. And I say this before, just like with Ubisoft games, they lay out the roadmap like, hey, season 1, season 2 is going to have this, season 3. Sea of Thieves, for a company that's software-based and from Microsoft-owned Rare, it's a fucking shit show, the way they're rolling out their content there. They're like, they broke the crack. He's still broke. Kraken's still broke. They broke the game. They had some killer bugs. They're adding some skeleton cruise ship, and then they're now this other one. They're adding Volcano Island, and it's like as they add stuff, they take stuff away. They break something doesn't work out. It seems very fucking mishmash. Like it doesn't seem like a wonderful service to me. It doesn't seem like a nice plan, like a planned out. Like this is how we're gonna roll this out. It just seems like they're throwing content, seeing what sticks, seeing what people say. Like, oh, I hate that thing. Okay, we'll take it out the next update. That's not a service. Like, that's not something you're gonna subscribe. Like that, and like I said this before, when they say free DLC, are you gonna pay for skeletons on the boat? Are you paying for the Megalodon? Like, would you spend like $15 for Megalodon DLC? Would you spend like that fighting the skeleton on the ship? Would you pay for that? So when people say free, you're getting what you're paying for. It's free for a reason. But they're building the games to keep people engaged. That's the thing. Like the bottom line is not about your entertainment with the game. The bottom line to Microsoft is, are you still subscribed to Game Pass? Are you still clicking on Game Pass? Are you still logging on to Xbox Live? That's their bottom line. And it's in everything that they talk about. And that's the problem that I have with them. It's like their bottom line is not about entertaining gamers and making games for gamers. Their bottom line is seeing how can we keep these gamers clicking on our stuff, almost like a fucking ad, almost like a pop-up on a website. How can we keep this person distracted? How can we keep this person just clicking? How can we get this person's attention? And the obvious reason, the obvious answer is to make amazing games, to make a fucking Spider-Man game with your Crackdown franchise, to make a God of War, to make a Last of Us, to make amazing games. It's the answer. And guess who wins? Us. We don't win when Microsoft says 5 million people turned on Sea of Thieves. We don't win. Because we know how that game turned out. Everybody in my circle, everybody I know, nobody's playing it. There are a few people that got hooked on it and play it. I'm not saying it's a bad game for everybody, but it's not the game that they say it is. This amazing hit. And you know the other thing that they said to these executives? They go, oh, it's better than our expectations. All their games, Sea of Thieves, State of K2, were better than their internal expectations, did better than their expectations. Obviously, it didn't do better than the critical expectations of these games because you see their review scores. But what the fuck did they set as their expectation level if these games exceeded their expectations? The game got critically destroyed, both of them. That can't be. They're expecting the 60. What they were expecting, 50s? But because a bunch of people clicked on the fucking app, it's a success? That's why when you I will listening to gamers, you ain't listening to shit. You ain't listening to shit. We hear gamers. Get the fuck out of here. You listen to shit. We're not good. We're not good. And it's like, what do you have for next gen? Oh, I'm confident in investing in your products for next generation. You bought a bunch of 5 fucking studios. One is a quadruple A. And the rest of them, we all know what the rest of them, we have no clue. There's 3 indie studios that came out with. Hellblade is the only one that was decent. That was a great game. You saw what the reviews looked like of We Happy Few. And We Happy Few, the thing is that it's not just a Metacritic score. And let me explain this. It is not the Metacritic score. Just that. It's what causes that Metacritic score. And in We Happy Few, it was that the story was all right, but the gameplay sucked. It was wonky animations. It was gameplay sucked. Okay, that doesn't give me confidence that the studio knows how to make a game. Maybe they know how to tell a story, but that's not a studio that I want expecting them to make an amazing game for Microsoft if the gameplay sucks. I would have wished it had a bad story and good, excellent gameplay to know that maybe we got something there. They just need a better storyteller, but the gameplay is broke. Sea of Thieves got its scores not because it didn't look good or it was bad water or it had bad scores because there was no content. It was an empty, dead world in a triple A Microsoft funded first party game. Had no content in it. Bunch of fetch quests. That's why it got that score. That tells me Microsoft doesn't know how to make a fucking game. And they don't know how to run their studio to release a game in the state that was with no content and telling us that they're going to add it later on. And that is just, huh? And it was funny is that I was going back looking at when they were talking, and I'm going to give you some quotes here, right? This is them in 2016. If you like to game, this is the year to get an Xbox, Yusef Mehdi said. Remember, the TV guy, TV. We have Halo 5 launching. We have Minecraft on Xbox. We have Gears of War and Tomb Raider. The best lineup next year will also be our best lineup. He goes on. The best lineup next year will also be our best lineup. That's 2016 he's talking about. That's led to really great success on Xbox. Assuming no games get delayed, next year on Xbox's lineup will include, this is 2016, Quantum Break, Crackdown 3, Inside, Scalebound, Below. What is that game? Gears of War 4, Killer Instinct Season 3, and Sea of Thieves. That's 2016's lineup that they had. All right, so right in the beginning of the year, Scalebound gets canceled in 2017. A year, Scalebound got delayed. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the end of 2015. This article was written from GameSpot. And so this article was written on December 2nd, 2015. So December 2nd, 2015, we had this lineup. And we're still talking about some of those games. And some of those games are gone. Canceled. But if you go back and just read the lineup, see, that's the thing. People go, why does it get you? Why does it bother you? It's because I was following this stuff. Because I was an Xbox fan. I had a console. Exactly, Daniel. Ashen, Below, Last Night, Crackdown. Where is it? But they showed 30 fucking controllers, right? But wait, we're good, though. He says we're good. It's too crowded. Ashen, Below, all those games. Ashen was, we were at PAX East. The dev said they were targeting October for Ashen. Yeah, I guess not. Below disappeared for 3 years and comes back at this E3. They don't show it at Gamescom. They don't talk about it. But my point is that see if these games were talked about since that was 2016's lineup, and the game came out this year, 2018 in the spring. 2 years later, with the content that it had in over a year beta, and it shipped like that. That's a kick in the nuts, guys. That's a kick in the nuts. Like that's why it grinds my gears about those games, because this is kind of bullshit now. Like, they're taking us for granted. They're thinking that we're just a bunch of fanboy idiots that are going to believe every bullshit thing that comes out of their mouth, and that we go goo goo gaga over controllers and Major Nelson's white gloves they can shove up his ass, and Aaron Greenburg talking out his ass, and Mike Ybarra begging for crossplay because that's listening to gamers. Meanwhile, they charge you on Xbox Live to pay. It's free on the PC. They create Windows 10. Don't put their games on Steam. And now I see they're charging for Windows 7 updates now, which is wonderful because I was trying to explain this last night on Planet Xbox last week, that the fact that Windows 10, these games, you can play Gears of War 4 on Windows 7. And according to Red Dragon, he said that over 45% of the people still use Windows 7. Steam works on Windows 7. And actually, Windows 7 is supposed to be more stable enough to run all those games on Steam. A lot of people didn't want to upgrade to Windows 10. The world is not Windows 10. Okay? So Microsoft is being restrictive to gamers by not going all in. And like I said, you can't just use Minecraft and go, well, we listen to everybody. No, that was everywhere. Go put Gears of War on Steam if you want to put your money where your mouth is. You want to open up your big fucking mouth? Then get ahead. Go put Gears of War on fucking Steam. Where's your fucking Halo on Windows? Where is it? You know that's what everybody wants. Why are you being so restrictive, Yabar? Why are you being so restrictive, Phil? Everybody should play those games. You're trying to reach 2 billion people. You're not going to do it with that fucking piece of shit Windows 10 store. You're going to lose 2 billion people doing it there. So if you want to open up your mouth, you want to open up the checkbook, then fucking do it. And if you're not going to do it, then shut the fuck up. Just shut up. And don't tweet it out. You have no games right now. Right now, you got a big wall in front of you saying work in progress. I shouldn't hear anything from behind that wall except you're making games. Stay on that side of the wall, please. Don't peek your head over here where real gamers are and we're playing real fucking games. I'm playing fucking Spider-Man and you fucking people are showing me Rumble Roses. Stay behind the curtain, stay behind that wall, and build your studios. Then when you got that building done, you could come out and talk to me. But for now, just shut the fuck up. You got nothing. And if you want to fool people to pay another $100 for more pixels, shame on them. But you're not doing me any favors. Just be quiet. All right? Stay behind the wall with Minecraft. Come out when you got games. All right? And I'm telling you right now. It is not they need to build these amazing games from the ground up. It's not just that. They could have made deals. They could have made something to show that they still give a shit about the video gamer right now. They could have signed some deals. They could have made some marketing moves. Hell, they couldn't even made a nice, decent custom console to promote one of their games. I'm amazed that Forza Horizon's coming out and they don't have a custom console for Forza or a custom controller. And they come out with these random things like fucking Sneaker White and Sky Blue. What's like? You have games or your fucking shoe company? You're a gaming console. Make some controllers about games. Make a Cuphead controller. Make a Gears controller again. Make a Halo controller. Make a Tomb Raider controller. Make a fucking Battlefield controller. Make them with your IP. Make a Conker. Make a Battletoads. Use your IP at least in the controller. I would buy one. I'm not going to go buy Midnight Blue, but if they had fucking Conker on the controller, that would have been cool as hell. Or if I can make it. That's listening to gamers. You're not listening to fucking gamers. You're listening to the bottom dollar. And like I said, if they really were listening to gamers, you would get, like, see, a Spider-Man console, a God of War console. I'm sure Sony might have a Red Dead console. It's fun. It's exciting. They have sales all the time. They make it fun. Gaming should be fun. Microsoft is making it engagement. It's engagement. That's not fun. That might be fun for their number crunchers and their statisticians, but that's not fun for you guys. That's not fun. They made $1 billion. Is that fun? Are you in Monopoly? Are you playing Monopoly? Is that fun? Here's a Spider-Man console. That's fucking fun. Like, make it fun. Sony had a fucking midnight conference. They announced 4 fucking exclusive games coming to the platform. Hell, one remaster is coming in December. Just like that. Just like that. There was no tease. There was no Aaron Greenburg or Major Nelson going, stay tuned for Halo news at the next Inside Xbox. Oh, the countdown to Halo. Oh, stay tuned to see what's behind the curtain. There was no tweet from Sony. There was no fucking sneaky question mark from Sony. There was no fucking hype. There wasn't no picture of a fucking a skirt around the a box going, what can be behind here? Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Inside Xbox news about Halo. And it's about a fucking Halo Dave and Buster's. It was about a PUBG controller behind the curtain. Sony didn't tease any announcements. They didn't tease it. They just had some fucking PlayStation lineup, and they got 4 exclusives right there and then. If you like it, you like it. But it doesn't matter. The fact that it's a game. Microsoft has a curtain. It's not a game. What happened to all those rumors that Microsoft's buying those guys? The what was it? The people that were what the hell were they? The guys that made the Fallout, New Vegas. Before, they're gonna announce that at Gamescom. Obsidian, thank you very much, buddy boy. My head's fried. Think I'm done. Obsidian. They're gonna buy them. But they're gonna be behind the curtain. The whole fucking employee. Hey, we're here. They bought us. What happened? Now Microsoft just goes buy studios and what? Throws them away, puts them in the fucking dumpsters, does a rat to them, does a lion head to them. And then I just saw about Microsoft saying like, oh, well, the Undead Labs is just going to stay independent. Like they're just going to do their own thing. Well, that's great. So they just bought them just so they don't have to do the paperwork. Like, they don't, just because they got bought. Look at Nokia. Microsoft bought them, right? Look at Skype. Microsoft bought them. How those guys doing? How's Rad doing? Microsoft bought them. Go ask how Rad's doing. How's Rad's game come out? For the last fucking 6 years, Rad didn't make a game. They came out with a game. How'd it go? Microsoft's money behind it, right? We're not good, okay? And you had no problem releasing the greatest lineup ever. You had no problem releasing Gears behind Halo and Forza and all that stuff back to back to back. You had no problem. Now, all of a sudden, you got Forza Horizon this holiday and Crackdown. Oh, no, we can't release Crackdown with that. No. It's too busy. That tells you 2 things. And also, Crackdown was in the no-show at the last 2 huge expos that everybody said wait for. Wait for E3. Wait for E3. Wait for Gamescom. Wait. Nothing. And they think that they could do some third-party showcase. And it's late. It's too late for that. It's done. And especially if you have alternative motives. You are trying to get people to sucker into services. All right? And you're trying to use the third party as your method of trying to get people sucked into your services. The thing is that you're not the lead platform. Nobody's going to give you, the devs are not going to spend that extra time with you unless you pay them. Like Shadow of War. Is that in Game Pass? I don't think so. Let me look. Nope, not in Game Pass. No, because that's a big game. It's a real game. They don't put real games in Game Pass. But that's the only way that people are going to do. You're going to pay. And Microsoft's going cheap. That's what they're doing. That's why they're making so much money. They shut down all their studios. They got rid of all their losses. Xbox would have been one of them if Phil didn't try to save it. And that's it. And they're just going to rely on PUBG, Sea of Thieves content, Forza Horizon, Tomb Raider, Fallout probably, and Battlefield. And there you go. Microsoft's holiday lineup. And Sony here is going to be marketing all the games coming out early next year that are exclusive. And like, and they got those 4 big hits, and they got Days Gone, and they got these other games, these games that just get announced out of the blue. Like, it all adds up. They don't have to be million sellers, but it adds the options and variety. And it's the fact that they don't even show the light of day on Microsoft's console is really telling. And Phil's got a lot of work if he wants to get those Japanese developers on board. They need to pull like what they did with Blue Dragon and all those games. Like, they need some Japanese development. They've lost that whole market. And it is a travesty what happened to them. And the thing is that I think, too, as competition builds, I think the whole dude, bro, all that kind of stuff is kind of fading that Microsoft banked on. And it's more about storytelling and things, because guess what? Games are becoming movies, because as the technology improves, it's not going to be about kill streaks and all this other stuff. It's going to be about storytelling. It's going to be another medium. And the thing is third party is doing all that service stuff. They're doing all that service stuff. But Microsoft is chasing the same group that they're chasing. And Sony instead is giving people, and Nintendo too, is giving people that unique content that third party seems not to be really gravitating towards. And that's the difference. Microsoft's competing against their own third party with their service. Like, who are you subscribing to? You're going to buy Call of Duty, and then you're going to subscribe to Game Pass, and then you're going to do the DLC for this, and then do all this stuff. You're fighting the same battle. That's what Ubisoft wants. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Yo, are we doing NBA Live streaming? Because I bought that game, and I want to do NBA Live 19 streaming with our team on the Planet Xbox court. So I got the game. I bought it for you guys. So I'm ready to go in that game. And then but yeah, like, they're chasing after the same group that third party's chasing for, where the other two the console publishers, Nintendo and Sony, are making games that are different than the norm. They're not making them as service-based games. And yes, they'll have DLC. Maybe they have loot boxes, or God of War didn't, but maybe they'll have some sort of DLC and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, man. You were traveling. I know. We'll do it. I definitely want to do it. And we'll stream some NBA Live. But yo, Mark, you got to get on the Blackout on Call of Duty. My goodness, if you missing that, get on that. It's incredible. It is awesome. So I'm just saying, like, that's the thing, that they're chasing the same fan base. So, like, you're gonna say, am I subscribing to Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Sea of Thieves? Oh, I'm gonna subscribe to Halo and Gears of War. They're all kind of that thing. When meanwhile, Sony's going, here's Last of Us, here's Spider-Man, here's God of War. Like, they're different experiences, they're unique experiences, and they're just made for that platform. And they're filling in the gaps, and that's what's going on. Yeah, see, Trunks says it's hundreds upon hundreds of Japanese developers don't make games for Phil. I know he has a lot of work to do, man. Yeah, I know, Mark. You can triple dip that. Yo, I've been playing Blackout. It is awesome. It really is good. I talked about it earlier on. I have a stream on it yesterday. I already won my I don't call chicken dinner. I came in first. I don't like that chicken dinner thing. It makes me think of Alan Greenburg running around with a frying pan. So I don't like saying I had a chicken dinner, because that goof is running around with a fucking frying pan thing. So I don't like talking about that. And I know he does his job, talks out his ass. That sounds like a great job to me. And he's not going to say we suck, we're rebuilding. Not going to. But don't lie about Crackdown. All right. If Crackdown was playable, everybody played it, and it's polishing and all that other shit, maybe. But you've been teasing Crackdown like a carrot for the last 4 years, and we still never seen this multiplayer bullshit. So don't tell me that it's taking a break, or it's done. It's just getting polished. Yeah, it's getting polished. It's getting that fucking Game Pass polish, that Game Pass shoe shine. The polish that fucking makes it invisible and just slips into Game Pass. Oops, we just slipped it in. Just a slip in, sorry. And that's going to be fucking Crackdown. That's right. And it's going to be, and that's the thing. He says we're good. I say we're not. Because if we're good, I wouldn't be here. I'll be playing that shit that they're talking about. But they can't rely on third party. Sony relied on third party, and Sony had the marketing, and they had the content exclusively, the little nicks and here, the bonus betas, the content. They had Destiny. They made it almost seem like it was an exclusive. Sony used that stuff, okay, when they didn't have the games. But they didn't have the games because they delayed Uncharted to early next year. They moved it out. And Microsoft had games, okay? They had the games. But Microsoft didn't do third-party deals. Sony did those deals. So if I saw Microsoft doing big third-party deals, if they had Red Dead this holiday, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you don't want to be marketing Red Dead and this. But then you go look at February, they don't really do real marketing. They just put their logo behind it. But they got Anthem promoting. They're promoting Anthem. They're promoting, Metro Exodus and Crackdown. Unless that's going to be a blockbuster month for them. But I don't think Crackdown's coming out in February. I don't think. When they're going to show it? And when they show a trailer at the Game Awards? That gets people hyped up. People got to play that game. Because when people did play that game, it got laughed off a Comic-Con stage. And it was never shown again. So that's a problem. It seems like there's something wrong with the gameplay. And Microsoft is just, again, it just shows their management of studios and games. It's been bad. And it doesn't give me confidence in the 5 studios that they bought. And because of what they did with Rare, and they turned Rare, like, Rare didn't even have their charm in that game. Like, they had some cool stuff, like, it was neat, but that game, that's not a Rare. Rare knows how to make better games than that. It's a former structure of Rare. They just kept the name. But there's no way that you just didn't put Crackdown because, and like I said, in the greatest lineup ever, in 2015, 2016, they had no problems releasing Gears, Halo, Dead Rising 4, Forza, all in the next 5 months. Starting in September, they did it. But now all of a sudden, oh, no. It's too many AAAs this holiday. Talking out his ass. Call of Duty Battlefield, Battlefront, Assassin's Creed, all your same hitters every holiday. Hitman, all your sports games, NBA Lives, they took off. Hockey, Madden, wrestling. Yeah, the same games every holiday. So I don't know but the only time is Red Dead. Okay, so one game, Red Dead. And Fallout also. Fallout came out the same year they released Tomb Raider. They released on the same fucking day. Anyway. Guy's talking out his ass. I think we all know that. Crackdown's in trouble. Prepare for more yellow Metacritic scores and see if Thieves join the friends of Sea of Thieves. It's crewmate. Because I'm sure Crackdown is a disaster. If it comes out and it is just like an abomination, oh man. Like I'm not very hopeful thinking it's gonna come out and surprise everybody at 8s and 9s. I don't think so. Because it still has a to be determined date actually on the thing. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, Truck said the same thing. Then they bought those studios for content. They want to spread out that content. Just like he said, like we're going to release Crackdown and Ori. So they're already kind of lining up their Game Pass content for next year. And it's all about Game Pass. So if you're not a subscriber of Game Pass, then Microsoft is not hearing you. If you're a subscriber to Game Pass, then enjoy because that's the ride that they want to go on. Everything is going to be made for Game Pass, at least coming out of them. The games, they're going to be probably some mid-tier games from them, some arcade little games, and then you'll have your 1 or 2 blockbusters. Because think about it. That if you look at it and think if Game Pass existed when Microsoft released the greatest lineup ever, you would have had Halo 5, Gears of War Ultimate, Forza Motorsport, Dead Rising 4, maybe Tomb Raider, but they didn't publish those games. So like you had those like 3 games. You'll have Gears of War, Halo, all within 3 months of each other on the holiday. You imagine that? It's not going to happen anymore. They're going to measure. They're going to make sure, like, yo, we have like Forza coming out this month. Next month's not going to be, we're not going to be dropping a huge hit. We'll drop some old games in there. There's going to be balance. They're not going to line up their games, whether it be every, like a brand new, hot new release every month, and that's going to be their game. And you see the variation in quality. They're good. It's almost like games of gold. You have a good months, which are far and few between, and you got bad months, which seem to be more thing. And that's confusing. It's like, well, I subscribe for that. I get Game Pass, you know. And I think Sony's playing it smart by giving you high quality games with your PlayStation Network. So basically, they're adding value to their online service, and they're also giving you great games within that thing. With Microsoft, it's like, well, it's going to be a hit or miss. So either I subscribe for Xbox Live Gold, and I got to subscribe to Game Pass, and hopefully I get a few decent games. If Game Pass is bad, this won't be better. This won't be like, this is the only way that you know, that it works. Like, so it's really, the thing is that it's really, the confusing thing about it is that the bottom line for them is Game Pass and engagement. And Sony, it just seems to be telling stories and making these games be a little more autistic and engaging and playful like that. But all I'm going to say is that I think I said enough. All this shit. But he triggered me with them. Like I said, go behind your wall, work in progress, shut up. Just say we got some Game Pass subscription, but don't make excuses for bad games. And please stop. I am done. Please stop talking about Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. I'm done talking about these games. If this is what we're going to do, if you're going to release Crackdown in February and you're going to talk about it for fucking 9 months, or like just like what they did with PUBG, you release that game in preview and you try to keep it relevant for over a year because it's getting updates to fix the fucking broken game? Like, please stop it. Please talk about something new. Do something. Sign a deal. Get a game. Get a friggin' game. Oh, my God. Talk about some old shit. It's like a fucking old man sitting by a fireplace saying, I remember when I used to ride the cars and we had to pump our own gas and those old days. I'm done with the fucking old stories, Grandpa. I want to go out and play with new shit. I don't want fucking Rumble Roses. I want Rumble Roses too. Fuck out of here with this shit. Old ass repackaged bullshit. Just stay behind your construction building and go make something. Then you could come out and talk to the Xbox gamers. But until then, just be quiet. Stop trying to promote this thing because you're not doing a good job. And you're making your fan base seem like they're fools because they know that Crackdown's not ready. All right? It's not sitting on the burner getting polished. There was nowhere to be found. And just because you threw Terry Crews in it, just like in Quantum Break, you threw fucking Sean Ashton in it, it didn't make the game any better. Okay? So if you throw a celebrity, but it's like taking a shit product and saying, well, we got celebrity endorsement to it. They're going to try to make it because people like that person. Oh, we're going to make Julia Roberts promote this bag of bullshit right here, this bag of dog shit. Well, we got Julia Roberts here. Everybody likes her. So you know what? Maybe somebody will buy that bag of dog shit. Celebrity endorsements. Come on now. Really? Now, maybe you put Arnold Schwarzenegger in Crackdown. Maybe that's something that I could do. Because I think that would be funny as shit. But otherwise, the celebrity endorsements are fucking nothing behind the curtain Wizard of Oz bullshit right there. But anyway, I gotta get to play some Call of Duties. And probably gotta start Dragon Quest. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's been a Grinds My Gears, episode 33. I have about 25, 24 people watch. I want to thank you, everybody. Like the video, share it out there. I appreciate it so much. I thank you so much for the engagement that you guys have in this chat. It's fun. Keep it fun. And again, I always have the disclaimer. It's my opinion. This is what they grind my gears. But I appreciate my fellow grinders out there. Come in here, complain, vent. Gives a shit, you know? If you're not passionate about something, then, you know, it's not real. You got to keep it real. But I want to thank everybody again for coming out. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Go follow me over on Twitter, Jez7780. If not, and then follow this channel when I do my my Grinds My Gears. Thank you again.